Hey guys, GameBoy3800 here, once again back in Forza Horizon 5 for the final time around La Selva Scramble. Last time out, the 1960 Chevy Corvette put down a mighty fast time with its Pro-Charge V8 engine. And now, we're gonna just rapid fire until something beats it or until we run out of cars. I have quite a few cars tuned to our 450 Spec Series, and we're gonna just see if anything can beat it. So yeah, the Corvette makes great use of huge tires, great traction, and it's not too slowed down by the water. I think that's the biggest thing. For how lightweight it is, for it to not get thrown around by water and stuff. That's one of the ways it was able to get its sub 127 lap time. So anyway, here we are. We're just gonna basically keep going right. And anything that meets our 450 spec series will be thrown to the roster. And first up, here it is. We have the Bentley Turbo R. Now, it's a heavy car. 670 foot-pounds of torque. It's 4,000 pounds. Now, I am a bit rusty at this track, but I did do some practice laps around. I didn't get a new time or anything, but I did get re-familiar with the lines and stuff. We've got a 5-speed. Ready to go into Bentley. Now, since I last recorded the series, some trucks have come out, and we are going to handle the trucks as well. Some of them are quite OP, like the good old Scout 800. But we're going to try the new Ford and Chevy trucks as well that have been added to the game. Now, right off the bat, this thing is not very fast, but it does feel pretty grippy. For what it is. And how is its torque curve? We're still at 550 foot-pounds of torque at the top of the rev range. So that's not even bad. Sometimes we have the 450 torque, but it goes down to 300 foot-pounds of torque by the top of the rev range where we like to stay at. So maybe, just maybe, we have ourselves a good motor here. Now you obviously have max weight reduction, but you never know. This thing started out near 6,000 pounds, so chucking a lot of weight out of it is good, but it started so heavy and it can only get so light. So that Corvette was about 2,700 pounds, I think, right? And now we're in a Bentley that weighs 4,000 pounds. And again, same horsepower. Granted, a lot more torque, but a lot more weight as well. We're still giving everything 3 laps around, so this first lap was just a test. This is not a very revving engine. It's basically a diesel. So 4,500 really is all she's got. Ooh, it's tough. I can feel its weight wanting to slide out. Yeah, look at that. I had to really correct for that. Some of the trucks can have bigger rear tires added, and that does drop PI by quite a bit, allowing us to get free weight reduction or free tire width upgrades. I would say free horsepower, but because we are at a set horsepower, that's not going to be the case. So yeah, the Bentley, it's not going to win. Oh, it's a good run through the water there, up to almost 100 miles an hour by the top of the hill. I'm surprised we didn't get a flag time for that. Look at that. One interesting thing with the Bentley is it's an automatic, so it has no shifting animation. I'm still shifting it manually in the game, but in real life it only came in automatic, I guess. Yeah, this thing is just so unaerodynamic. Has no top speed despite having what should be a good engine. Okay, this video probably will be about 40 minutes long, and before it's like an hour long or even longer or something dumb like that. And right now my internet is fantastic, so it'll take all year to upload. But besides that, you know, it should be pretty good. Point is, I'm recording this, and it may not come out when I expect it to. Oh well, that won't matter for you. Just rambling on, trying to distract myself by how bad this car actually is. And normal, like, you know, all-wheel drive and 800 foot-pounds of torque, guys, it's not too bad a car. But, you know, for this circuit, it's been proven we need more than just good grip like this car has. You either need a stupid amount of torque, and this amount of torque for its weight is just not like that, like the Buick GSX. Getting a 130.8, that's only terrible, not awful. And we're going to move right into Chevys next. We're going to probably skip a couple of the 450 Spec Series I have, because if I do all of them, that's like 100 cars, and I don't have that kind of time. Looks like we're in a sandstorm. That's a pretty cool look. I don't think there's any BMWs we've done. I think did we do that? Did we do that? I forget. Oh well. I'm not gonna bother. Also, since then, like, anti-lag's been added, so the usually laggy Regal GNX has been greatly improved. Besides that, though, we have the trucks. Yep, the K10 and the F-150 from the 70s and 80s. Like, these trucks are just great lookers. And I've tuned this one to be pretty silly. 619 foot-pounds of torque, but all that torque is pretty down low, so like below 4,000 RPM. And it's a pretty happy engine. It's 6,500 RPM. So we're never going to be in that torque range. Rear-wheel drive swap, so we get a 9-speed gearbox. Very nice. With fast shifting, I have it lowered down because, why not? I might as well make them even, the front and rear. It's a fairly heavy truck, but it's not anywhere near the worst we've ever seen. It is running the overlanding equipment, so it's a little bit heavier than I would ideally like, and more importantly, it's draggier than I would ideally like. But that's what was required to put on in order to get to the class limit. We have twin turbos, and a Revy boy with a lot of gear changes. We're about 400 foot-pounds of torque, so we're not that far down on torque once we're at the top of the revs. Having not driven a truck around the circuit in forever, I'm not sure what to expect. I know it's regarded as like a fairly grippy truck, but that's definitely with all-wheel drive. With rear-wheel drive, I am experiencing a little bit of slide. Quite a bit of slide. But maybe that won't matter if I can figure out how the car drives. How is our speed? Very slow. 103? That Corvette's doing 111 over the bump there. If you didn't know, that river jump we did back there is our speed check. And most of the time the cars have been around 112, 111. That's the average. And this was at 103. Now, it's a big truck. You'd think that would help with the off-roadiness. Maybe it does, but that also means it is shaped like an actual barn, and thus performs as one, at least aerodynamically. So, like, we have no top speed. Like, none at all. I can count it on my fingers, and my fingers say no. Like, it's a slow, slow boy. Grippy, but pretty slow. Now, it is true we need some amount of grip, but we, importantly, need some amount of speed as well. That Corvette's got a great amount of grip, and a great amount of speed. So, chalk it all up with the Corvette's lightness as well, and we have ourselves basically a disaster for the truck here. I can try to just keep it in the high gear to be more in the torque band. You know, about 500 foot-pounds of torque out of it 600. But then, like, our speed's going to be, like, 103 again, so it doesn't matter. Maybe that'll help with wheel speed, or wheel spin, though, so that we don't slide as much. So maybe that's what I want. I do not know. Yeah, the trucks, this one at least, I'm not too sure on. I am really enjoying its fast shifting. That will only get us so far. Just another automatic. It is, okay. I forget. Did this have a 3 or 4 speed? That's from the factory. I want to say a 3 speed, but it's like the 70s, maybe they first introduced a 4 speed back then. I have no idea. I mean, it doesn't matter. This is automatic, so it would have been the torque thrust, like TH400 3 speed. Never mind. Can we get a good time out of this? Well, that last lap, I guess, was dirty, so it didn't show an improvement. It's not doing bad across the bumps. Like, it's a very stable truck. It's just not fast at all. So yeah, ideally, you would probably put more weight into it and just build the engine to have a lot more horsepower, if you're like limiting yourself to the stock engine. Otherwise, I would just say LS swap it and put a supercharger on it, like everyone else does. A 131.8. Is that even slower than the Bentley? It is. The Bentley had a 130.8, I think. Wow. A second slower than a Bentley. So yeah, that's not going to be ideal. That does not give me high hopes for our next truck. It came out the same update. It's going to be the Ford one. Oh yeah, I forgot. Gotta pause and unpause to get that little menu to pop up faster. So yeah, the K10 didn't work out for us. We got this thing. I guess I could try that. That almost fits. That would be interesting. That definitely doesn't fit. And that does fit. This is a pretty lightweight truck, actually. Take a look at that. Not much torque compared to what we just saw, but it does rev good. I do know that. Interesting thing about this truck is, one, it sounds awesome, and two, its camshafts are the only ones I've ever seen in this game that are not like the 4-liter Turbo Rally. that when you put the cams on, it decreases both torque and horsepower. So that actually gave us quite a bit of free space to just mess around with the boost and supercharger settings. So we rev good. Hopefully that helps us. And we sound amazing. And I did try with the middle cam as well. We actually got less horsepower and torque out of it, like total numbers wise, with the mid-stage cam. Because I guess it just eats up too much PI. Wow, this sounds amazing. And it's like only the sport exhaust. For whatever reason, the race exhaust on like these engines usually just sounds like a tin can. But this sounds like a pretty opened up engine. We are supercharged. We don't have any funny looking thing on the back of our truck here. And we have a skill chain that's going off like crazy. Speed-wise, we are only a hair faster than before. Ah, man. Well, I did want it to be fast, but obviously it's not going to work out that way. Because we don't have that draggy thing on us, we're not actually probably going to be as bad for top speed. Not as good as a Corvette, mind you, but not anywhere near as bad as what we just saw with the K10. And this is a newer truck, so it's marginally less barn-shaped. Even though this truck is called a bull nose for its wide nose. I can't even think about taking that line. In the Bentley I could take it, but I would start sliding. In this I just can't even think about it. Bonk. We don't lose any speed to the water, so that's kind of good. It's not going to help us win the race or anything, but, you know, for actual overlanding like how this truck came out for, it wouldn't be bad. And again, we're 1 mile an hour faster than the K10. Bonk. It's probably going to dirty our final lap, but oh well. Rev it out. Oh no. Final lap is not going to be dirty unless I make it dirty. Another automatic truck. Let's go. And I made it dirty. Nice. Oh well. Alright, well, rip to the Ford. Couldn't get 3 clean laps. And it's got decent turn-in, decent grip. This engine just does not build a lot of torque unless you go for the middle cam, but then you eat too much PI. At least for the class. For a higher class, like maybe A class, it'll work out, but not for B class or the lower. It does start in D class, so, you do get a lot of points to play with. Corvette remains on top. I don't know why I'm suddenly the only one on the leaderboard, but I'll take it. So yeah, the Ford didn't work out. I do want to try the electric car though, the Cupra. It's like 4 horsepower down, it weighs a ton, but it is electric. I think this is the first electric car we've had go around, so it may be interesting. I know like the Porsche Taycan is pretty OP in A class for like trial events. I am not sure that's going to be the case here. I am not able to rear-wheel drive swap this car, so never mind. Hang on. I can make it effectively rear-wheel drive though, which will be the most fair way I can do it, just by locking out the front from doing anything. But it'll still get like 1% power, so therefore not technically be a rear-wheel drive. So I don't know. I want to try it regardless. 5,000 pounds electric vehicle. It is brand new, so obviously the handling will be probably not bad. And we don't have to worry about gear changes. Of course, as soon as we get above, like, 3,000 RPM, which is all the time, we start throwing our torque out the window. But it's electric, so we shouldn't have to worry about, any of that, right? No. It'll shock me if we're above, like, 103 for this upcoming water jump test. What do you look at that? We're at 106, 107 even. So we can, like, build up the speed. It takes a while. We go wide for that jump. We were able to take it, though. Dang. Don't have to worry about the hill really. We're up to 96, 97 miles an hour before hitting the brakes. That's pretty good. And yeah, like I said, speed-wise, it's not terrible because it's modern and more aerodynamic. And handling-wise, it's like up there with the Corvette, despite being double the weight. Now, would it be smarter to make the gear ratios tighter? So we can, accelerate a little bit faster out of the corners, or make it even taller so that we're in the torque range for longer? That's a good question. One I don't care to answer. Like, you see, once we get going, we can keep our speed fairly okay even. And, take a look. We can still see the Corvette. We won't be able to catch it, but the fact that we can still see it, there's more than can be said for the Bentley. Bonk. .130.1, that's the fastest time we've seen today, sadly. And it did dirty our last lap here for hitting the wall right before the finish line. Not gonna go too far inside that checkpoint like we did with the Ford. I was half thinking I would miss a checkpoint, but that didn't happen, so that's good. And the Corvette is, I guess, running away now. Can we still see it by the end here? Oh wow, we were really fast up the hill, over 100 miles an hour. So we're catching the Corvette there, up the hill. Able to just run through that water without even noticing it, so that's cool. Not cool enough to win, but cool. 129.5 is our fastest time today. A bit sad, but we got some more cars to go yet. Only 2.7 seconds down. It's only awful. It's not terrible. So we did the Cupra, we did this truck. Did we do that truck? I'm gonna say no. Do we want to give another SUV a chance? No, let's not waste our time. We're gonna go right on over to the big boy. Yep, the Scout International 800 is insane and legendary in this game for slaughtering D-Class, C-Class, and B-Class leaderboards. Now granted, above like C-Class, it's known for that for having the LS supercharged swap, but this is a stock engine, supercharged. How will it do? Now, this is a tune that does take advantage of the big boy tires, I think. So, it'll be different. Yep, we got big boys in the back. We have an 8-speed box. That's a bit interesting. I'm gonna fix them gear ratios up because, like, we would be shifting 1,000 times to get up to 60. So we will lengthen that up. And lengthen that up. Good enough. Alright. Let's find out how you do. There's another rear-wheel drive swap, so we will have fast shifting. Very loud supercharger, I like that. So I haven't driven a Scout in so long, I just don't drive it out of principle because it's so OP. I prefer my 600 horsepower C-Class Toyota FJ Cruiser, or whatever it's called. Oh, we have no brakes. It looks like we should have sport brakes. But we just locked up those fronts like they were nothing. They were made of butter. Or whatever it is. Yes, the brakes are the hot knife, and the brake pads are the butter. I get it. So yeah, this truck, oh, it is twitchy, but it is fast for a truck. 107 with a big slide right before the straight. Over the rock, not too bad. If I gave myself some laps to get used to this truck's twitchiness, it would be pretty good. Look at the speed up the hill, 105! That is leagues ahead of the Corvette. Problem is, the Corvette's leagues ahead of it already. So of all the cars in the game, you would expect one of the more OP B-Class cars to beat the Corvette. Can it though? It's twitchy, short wheelbase. Weight is not too dissimilar, like 3,100 pounds to 2,700 pounds. It's only 500 pounds. It's only terrible, not awful. Just heard like the truck creaking as we went to brake. That's not good. I don't know if that was a truck or if I hit something, but it was weird. Whatever. I need to get the 6 gears sooner. Helps manage wheel spin, and probably helps keep us in the torque a little bit. This isn't a super torquey engine, but it's not nothing. With a fresh, non-sliding entry onto the straight, we got 109. That's pretty good. Corvette's only a couple miles an hour ahead. big slide into here. That's going to slow us down. We can carry great speed up the hill. We can accelerate 200 from below 100. That's cool. Last lap for the Scout. It's the fastest time we've had today so far, a 129.0. Speed-wise, it's pretty good, but I had to slow down to take that turn because we're slidey and twitchy otherwise. Oh, no. That was awful. Why are the brakes so bad on this? Are they stock brakes? They really do feel like it. I thought I made it like pretty clear cut that sports brakes were the minimum after a certain point when we found out that they're very important for those first few corners in the last one. Well, I guess. And we're so far behind that we are not going to beat that Corvette. So a 129.0 from the Scout. It's a good car, but of course normally we are all-wheel drive with it. Not this time. 2 seconds down. Oh well. Actually, the International Scout could not dethrone the Corvette. Does not give me high hopes that anything will, but we will keep going, of course. I did have this tuned. I think we already did it. I forget. Huh? We did that, I know. We did that. Just did that. Do I do this cheap? I know we did the Lamborghinis. The Range Rover. Land Rover. The Maserati. Oh yes, with the Overlander mods, we can finally get this truck to be over 10,000 pounds. It's silly. I really wanted one of these to go well with the series, but when you rear-wheel drive swap it, it makes it impossible to tune to. So that's sad. Ah yes, the Plymouth Fury. Did we ever go with the Plymouth? I do forget. I know we had the Firebirds go. Oh no, I remember. We did do the Fury. I am silly. I remember talking about it being the long drive car. Oh well. That's a very difficult car to tune to. We will go for the car I saw that did look like it was tuned to it. The Jeep. And then we will go for that other truck, the Bronco, the old one. We did the newer one, but you know, it didn't do too well. Stock engine's not even bad, so I don't know why it did that. Got a very many gears gearbox. 3 gears for 60. We'll see how that is. So this Jeep normally has like no grip at all. That's why you can give it a lot of power in a low class because the tires are so bad. But here, you know, we have the set standard tires for the off-road race tires. Oh, this car is grippy. I like this car. Is it any good for speed though? That is a decently good question you could ask somebody. I'm not sure anybody here is decent enough to give a good answer, but I'll give my best shot. The answer is no. That was a very twitchy first tight turn. I don't know if we're supercharged or turbocharged. I would have made this tune before the funny anti-lag stuff. So I don't know. Pretty wide there, less than ideal. Speed. It's faster than the F-150, I'll give it that. And its cornering grip on the dirt is actually pretty good. We just have to be mindful of its short wheelbase twitchiness. Otherwise, I'm liking the way this car handles. We're over 100 miles an hour by the time we brake. It's just under braking is the twitchy part. Okay. Decently fast, if a bit twitchy. We are supercharged. I can hear it going whine and whine and whine. There's a good turn there and no twitching that time. There's a good jump there, actually. We're doing pretty good with the Jeep. The next best time is a 127.3 with the other Mustang, right? So, if we can get near that, that would be a success, I think. Like, look at the turning we can do. Oh, we are catching up to that Corvette. Oh, we bunked a wall. Darn it. God darn it. I can't talk. Wow. Okay. If we have a smashing run, this Jeep can actually do it, I think. Can we do it with this last lap? That's going to be tough to do. I may try no talking. Will that work? Will that make up the speed deficit? I'm doubting it, but I can try it. It's a very tight tree line. I like that. The Corvette just gets so far ahead, though. Look at that. And we have a dirty lap anyways. That's kind of sad. Because we bonked the wall coming on to the last lap. That's unfair. Oh well, it happens. Yeah. We had a good run. We were catching up to it up the hill. I guess the Corvette needs to have a perfect run through the water in order to not get slowed down up the hill. While it's easier for a big, tall, heavy Jeep. 127 time, though. That's our fastest time of the day. 127.3, where's the Mustang time before that got shattered by the Corvette? Readjusting my headset. Alright, what next? We can try the old Bronco. Maybe the Bronco will get it. The new Bronco didn't do too well because I guess it was just too heavy. But the old Bronco isn't too bad for its weight. So 3,100 pounds. Same weight as the F-150. A little bit more torque. For the wheelbase, it is shaped more like a barn though, because it's from the 70s, so hopefully its aerodynamics are not so bad they're awful. I have a feeling though that will be the case, unfortunately. I have a 6-speed in this one. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten those gears up, I guess. Give us a 145 dead for its top speed. We should be about where we like cars to be. I don't see a roll cage in this, actually. So we're not as sturdy as some of the best cars we've had. But that was a good turn there. We had some body roll. Oh, this is like a 5th and 6th gear only car. I kind of like that. Just like 3rd gears. No, you gotta shift up, fam. There's a big slide there. You got an ultimate drift skill. Very nice. It's a good way to just rack up free skill points. Just do some rivals dirt track events. Let's see how the speed is over that water jump. Ooh, bit of a slide there. Yeah, that's going to slow us down. 105 still. Despite a huge slide coming into that turn. I kind of do like that, actually, where you can just turn in fast suddenly, and then let it neutral steer drift itself to the rest of the corner. Up the hill we are flying. 105! That is incredible. Alright, if this is anything decent for grip, like it's good for speed, look at that. Holding on to Corvette in a Bronco. Now, it's going to catch back up because we just don't have the ultimate top speed of a barn. Okay, okay. If I can control the sliding just a little bit more, Bronco feels pretty good. No, my spare tire! What's going to happen when the Ford breaks down? Notice how I said when, not if. That was a good run onto this turn this time. How are we going to do for speed? 108, 109-ish. Decent. Not great, though. Corvette is faster. It is lighter, don't forget, though. Up the hill, though. That's when we just, like, hey, I'm a truck and you are not. We do pull pretty good, but then once we hit 130, it's just like, nah, you're not going nowhere. I missed that checkpoint. God dang it. Oh well. Good run from the Bronco with enough laps and, like, I don't know, maybe lower ride height. I think we're already as low as we could go. Never mind. But, like, you know, that could be something. Maybe an all-wheel drive will be good for B class, but, like, in rear-wheel drive and stock engine, it's just not it. We do level up. Is there anything more we can do? Try that. No, we can't do that. We had that leading for a while. I forget, did we do the Barn Find Mustang? Do I even have the Barn Find Mustang in my favorites? What? What do we have the Barn Find Mustang tuned to? I swear I always have it in B class. Oh no, I have it for D class for a future idea. Never mind. I am silly. We got the Jaguar. We could run that. And we got the Defenders. And the Maserati. We got both Maseratis tuned to it. Wow. Okay. They're so heavy. Okay. I guess we'll do the Jaguar, then the Land Rovers. Just making it SUV central here. We have the wide body kit on the Jaguar. It is ultra wide tires at the back, and I think only kind of wide tires up front. We got a funny 10-speed gearbox that we're going to use 2 gears of. Alright, so Jaguar, I have no idea. Just straight up no idea. It's a supercharged V6. So it's pretty awful. It's so wide. I feel like I'm going to clip everything with this car. Like, it's going to be so bad for squeezing it through this track. We already get, you know, caught out by the rocks by skinny cars. What's it going to do with this car? Thankfully, our grip should be pretty good. We are a heavy car. Speed is 107, a little bit slower than the Bronco. Grip is pretty okay. It's a stable car, that's for sure. You know, if you wanted to tune a car for stability, this would probably be it. But obviously it's so wide, just doing anything makes us go no you. Like you saw, we touched the wall barely and it still flagged our time. We have good brakes, good steering. And because it's so wide, it's just generally good stability. And that's not going to be enough though. We need speed. We need quite a bit of speed. Because the car is so wide, I could be trying to go for cheeky checkpoints, but I haven't done that with any car yet, so I probably shouldn't this time. Granted, I do cut inside too much, but then that's obvious, and I rewind and lose a lap. And when you only have 3 laps, that's usually I end the truck there, or vehicle there. For the Jaguar, it's pretty silly. You can give it, like, you know, racing slicks and the wide body kit here. Have it seem pretty silly. But like here, it's just too heavy. 128.4. If I can shave half a second off and get into the 127s, I would be happy. Maybe I should tune the gears to be tighter so I can have more opportunity to stay above 5,500 or around 6,500, like the red line. Because right now, 4th gear just feels a bit too long. And even though we're above 5,000, that's still evidently too tall for this engine. It's not like the Buick where it's like, yep, I'm at 4,000 RPM and I'm at 600 foot-pounds of torque. You can't stop me. I don't even need to worry about boost because I'm naturally aspirated. Oh. So, you know. Basically what I'm saying is, please let us put the Buick GSX engine into more things game. It's such a good engine. And again, I think about the wall and it flags my lap time. That's a bit unfortunate. No first gear shenanigans out of that last turn this time. And it's a slower time to boot. Nice. So it's a hard car to tune to. You need to make it very heavy for a B class. For A class, it can probably be alright. Just, that's not what we're playing at. Alright, so next up we got the Land Rovers. We got one at 450 and one at 403. Why is this? Well, it's because the 73 Range Rover's engine is maxed out. That's as high as it gets. Only 400 horsepower. So we're gonna go with that. It's pretty odd, but usually a maxed out engine is at least good to drive. Obviously, we're down on power. There's a couple other cars that are down on power this series. Sorry about that. I know the Gremlin was down on power, but not as much as this. This is only 400. And the 53 Corvette was also down on power, but 430 horsepower. This only 400. We are maxed out for handling. And we have a Revy Boy engine. So I suspect this will be a fun car to drive, it just won't be fast. Actually, take a look at that torque. But not bad for its torque, even all the way through the rev range. And this car is so far is handling well. We'd have a funny number gearbox, so I'm not going to be limited to 100 miles an hour with 6 gear. Handling wise, if every car handled like this, the game would be considered an arcade racer. No, wait. Regardless, it's not bad. I am just noticing a lack in power. Oh man, are we even gonna make 100? 101, 102 by the water jump? What? I guess I'll leave it in 5th. I feel like we're losing a bit of torque in 5th, but evidently we need the RPM for the wheel speed. It's a manual gearbox. Didn't check with the Bronco or some of the other cars, but I was just kind of guessing that they were manual. Here I wasn't so sure on because, it's a 70s car. I somehow got that checkpoint. Very nice. We've seen quite a few cars this episode not have a shift animation, because they're like a factory auto box or something, so that's cool. I do like how they have that detail in. I don't like how they have no actual shift animation. They just put their hand on the gear lever, and that's supposed to be enough immersion for us, but I remember back in my day in Horizon 3, you would actually shift it. It's not like the Mercedes W154 or whatever, where it has a wooden steering wheel, but it still has a flappy pedal gear shift animations for some reason. They say this game isn't copy-pasted? Yeah, right. That's straight from Horizon 4. On an almost related note, how does the Supra not have a shift animation? It's copy-pasted from Horizon 4. And in Horizon 4 it had it. Come on, game. It's not like it would be buggy. They released a Toyota AE86 with the gear shift animation where you just reach between your legs. So come on. Or fix the Supra. Even if it's broken, shift it. Now, as for this car, handles alright. I do like its handling. We just have no speed. We are shape of a barn and power of a barn. So, you know, it's not fast. Through the early parts of the lap where we're mostly handling based and not power based, we do still see the Corvette, but once we start needing any kind of power, like at the water here, like basically from there you need power for the rest of the lap, that's when the Corvette says, alright fam, I'm gonna head out. Well, I say that, we still see it. 106, I think we were 107 before, so that's less than ideal. Like all through here, that Corvette's over 100 miles an hour for sure, and now it's pulling away. But not bad up the hill, we get up to 100 miles an hour only just before slamming the brakes. .128.3, faster than the last car we had by a tiny bit. Alright, so the other Range Rover, Land Rover we're going to try out does actually meet the engine specs for the series. It's a bit newer. If it's anything like the Bronco, if it can stay stable, it won't even be a bad car. So yeah, the 97 Defender, 450 horsepower and torque, same weight as the last car, but you can see I did put on a funny looking like top cage and stuff, so we may be even slower aerodynamically than some of the other cars. We have an 8-speed box. Yeah, look at that top speed, below 140. Imagine. Just do that just because it could help us. We have a many gears gearbox. All that to just get out of the torque band as soon as we hit the power. Let's go. Oh yeah, we are very aerodynamically limited. We have decent grip. We are kind of slidey because we're so high in the RPMs. Eighth gear seems to be the most stable so far because we get it below 5,000 only just. I did not look at our speed. I was concentrating on not dying because it's a Land Rover and it would have caught fire. I just fear, yeah, it's going to have good grip, but no straight line speed. At least with the Bronco, we had decent grip and good straight line speed. Same with the Jeep. This may be only a third of a dozen one and like 2 dozen the other. So, yeah, it's not even close. Probably didn't need to hit the brake there, but oh well. Good turn-in. It's a stable car, despite being so high riding, or at least, you know, very tall physically. Need to watch it sliding though, you saw that, right? You just kind of said, nah, I'm gonna go this way. Alright, how is our speed now? Didn't look before. Our speed is 107, just about. It's kind of what we've been seeing a lot of this episode, actually. Oh, dang. It's gonna dirty our last lap. You love to see it. Yep. .28.4, we're looking for half a second to match the Bosch 302. Yeah, we've just been staying behind the same Corvette this whole time. Can you believe it? Yeah, we're basically like a shorter version of the K10 where we're a bit twitchy, we have decent grip, we just have no top speed. Now, on a perfect lap, we could be close to it. But we never will be because we just can't match the top speed. A 127.4, oh, that would have been very close to that Mustang Bosch 302. That was a 127.3. So we got close, but definitely no touching that Corvette. That's still half a second up the road. There are still more cars to go, believe it or not. It's a long episode. I told you it would be. In fact, I said it would be, what, 40 minutes? I bet you we're over an hour. Oh, heck yeah, we are at an hour and 3 minutes. So, yep, I have some ideas for what to try. Unfortunately, they're not going to work. So, if we go over here to Toyotas, which will look to the VWs only to find there's nothing. If we go to Toyotas, they're here someplace. I thought we had Toyotas. Never mind, we have no Toyotas. For real, no Toyotas. And we do have the 4Runner, where I did the tune for other cars. So, oh well. Toyota. 4,100 pounds? Nope, it's not going to win, but we can just try it. So this could be the last car to have a go. I guess I know what we can do for our actual final car. We go back to the Buick GNX, not the GSX, the GNX, with its new anti-lag system, and see if that can do anything. As if you remember, its engine was kind of laggy. Needed to get way above 4,000 RPM and only rev to 5,000. So, we basically had no power. With the anti-lag, increases the usable rev range by, like, I don't know, 500, maybe even 1,000. Anyways, about this car, it's slow, it's slidey, it's heavy, it is tall riding, so it shouldn't have an issue through the water and up the hill and stuff, but like everywhere else, it's going to be a natural disaster. I have no idea what engine this even is. It doesn't sound like something I would drive. I'm used to something with more than 7 cylinders and less than 9. Speed-wise, yeah, we are slow. 103 once again, yep. Back to... what was it? The K... oh, we're going for a flip! One last front flip for the episode, for the series? Nope. Not exactly. Yeah, first gear takes us to 60. When the last car, it took 5 gears to get to 60. Yeah, we definitely could tighten up the gearbox, but also I don't think this car has anything to offer, so we're not going to bother. You have no grip, like none. I mean, it is like that one time I said, the car is heavy, the grip it has it's all there. And that's true. You know, we're not, you know, lightweight and thinking we have grip, but then go to turn and just spin out and die. You know, this car is always going to be slidey and not grippy. So we can at least predict it. The problem is we can predict it to be slow. So that's not going to help our cause. Once we're on the dirt, it's not the worst in the universe. But like, also it's not great at all. Not even good. Maybe awful. Another front flip attempt. Really is trying to go for that front flip. Oh yeah, I remember. We looked at BMWs. I don't think I did any BMWs. We went to Audi, then we went to Buick. Right, so we didn't do any BMWs this series. Unless I'm wrong, and oh well, we'll just redo them as well. Bonk. Nice drift tap. In real life, I would love to have a Land Cruiser, but of course the older one with the V8. This 4Runner is neither of those, so I guess it's cool, big SUV, and it's got unique styling. But like, you know, this isn't Doug DeMuro YouTube channel, so that won't get you any points here. You gotta be fast, you gotta be light, you gotta be cool. And this is kind of none of those. The only exception to like the being light thing is like, you know, I love the Buick GSX, I love the Oldsmobile Tornado, which are like 5,000 pounds and insanely cool. But they're land yachts, so they get the exception. This is like, I don't know, a land aircraft carrier, and that's like cool, like subjectively, but like, you know, not cool for like doing anything else with it other than just being there. I don't know what I'm talking about. A 130.6 is kind of awful, like AMC Javelin territory. So, yeah. Corvette looking pretty unstoppable at the moment, not gonna lie. If we go to BMW, no, there's not BMW. We got some cars here. We have the M5 from 88 and 99. Or 95, I mean. And no, there's no way the Turbo R here has maxed out at 423 horsepower. I should double check that. Maybe I'll run that too. But I like very highly doubt that. I think I built that for like some drift event one time. Where's that in Horizon 4? Oh man, I forget. It's been so long. Anyways, the 88 M5. It's got a good V8. No, normally not bad. Here though, it could be awful, so you have that to look forward to. It's not a V8, I don't think. Or if it is, it's shocking. Sounds like a good old straight 6 though. Straight 6s in this game do sound good. I will give the game that. We do have the funny Big Wang though. Big Wang gang in full force. We have a slow shift. If I was taking this car into any normal race, I would do manual with clutch, but I haven't done that this whole series, so I'm not going to start now. You know, if the car has a slow gearbox, it's got to run that this series. Unless we need to drivetrain swap it, then we get the very fast shifting from the rear-wheel drive swap trucks and SUVs. And those have been quite enjoyable. Yeah, driving this so far is not bad at all. Like, it feels like a competent car, believe it or not. I didn't look at this car's weight, but I would reckon it's not too heavy. We're over 100 miles an hour by the time we brake. Decent last turn. Rev it out too high. 8,000 should be when we shift instead of whatever I did there. It's a 5-speed, so kind of back to the norm. Most of the muscle cars and stuff we've tried this series have been 5-speed swapped. I think this is 5 speeds from standard, so and now we just get the ability to tune it slightly. I don't know what kind of induction we have. I want to say per charge, but I have no idea. Bonk. Yeah, I'm gonna go for its per charge because it just keeps building more boost as we get high up in the revs. Like a stage 1 per charger. Okay. Gives me some confidence in this car's like engine. Oh! Hi. Yep. We were bound to find a tree sometime this episode. I am honestly shocked we didn't find it earlier. Okay, this car's got good grip, but it can get unsettled, I guess, because it's not very high off the ground. Or, you know, because I don't know, I guess it's just not the best off-roader. Maybe it, I think I see it doesn't have a roll cage. Or at least not a visible one, so it's not maximum rigid stable, you know? We also have like no front grip, so that is less than helpful, I'll be honest. Yeah, that Corvette is frickin' gone. Bonk. Go to horny jail, BMW fanboy. Couldn't contain himself, so he got bonked. A rip to the BMW fanboy. Anyways, the BMW here is pretty fast, like a 111, 112 over that river jump. If I just leave it in 4th gear. High up in the rev range, we got a pro charger, so it likes that. We may be down on torque, but who cares? We have a good climb up the hill. It won't be enough though. Just missing out that bit of grip that Corvette has, so it's not going to win. A 128.5, you know, not going to be good enough. Get a wheel spin. Would have been funny if we got another BMW, but we didn't, so nope. I do like this week's trial event, actually, for the Sylvia. I got a 94 Sylvia with like 750 horsepower, LS swap supercharged, and nobody could touch me. It was so silly. You did need to run manual with clutch, but I guess if you're in the trial, you're doing that anyways. So you can just jump to start. Everyone else trying to run stock cars, having a sad time. And look at that, we had Stevio back on the map. Alright. Alright, back to BMW we go. This time going for the 1995 M5. 3.8 liter versus 4 liter. What? We have more torque, so that's good, but we weigh 600 pounds more, less than ideal. If it's a V8, it may make up for it because it'll have a smoother torque band, presumably, but you never know. I don't even know what induction this would have. I think only twin turbo is the only option for this engine. We have a fully stock gearbox. Okay. That's not what I was expecting to see. So whatever we have is what we got. I guess I had trouble building this car. Another straight 6. Okay. The other one was at 4 liters. I thought they had a 4 liter V8. I guess that came out later, I guess. Who knows? Whatever. Some BMW fanboy will correct me in the comments. Or they never will, because I never got to this part of the video, because nobody watches the series. Yay! Oh, man. Alright, we have no grip. We're a heavy car, and we have no speed. Fantastic combo. We at least have good brakes. I'm gonna say it's not bad brakes, considering I didn't use them yet. I guess we're supercharged, like, or maybe single turbo. As we're at a flat 8 PSI. Definitely not per-charged. Probably root supercharged. Maybe I was thinking the flatter torque curve will help for the completely stock gearbox, but I was wrong. I will only do 2 laps with this car because there's just no chance with this car. Like, unless I am suddenly right there with it, it's only going to do 2 laps. Spoilers, it won't be able to. Brakes are at least good. I didn't test them much last lap, or at least not notice I was testing them. And now that I did, they're not bad. We just have no grip, and no power, and no gearing, and we're heavy. So yeah. I guess we just didn't have enough points to go for the adjustable gearbox. It really is letting us down, aside from the no weight reduction, or very little weight reduction. Like, if you have a heavy car, 4,000 pounds, you gotta have the torque to back it up. Well over 500. This only had, what, 430, 450? Last car we had go that was around 4,000 pounds, the Pontiac Firebird. That was happy only because it had 600 foot-pounds of torque. 666. Not so much this time. Okay, the BMW, we had a clean lap that time at least. It's not going to do anything for this series though, unfortunately. .7 seconds behind, well. Alright. Now the magical challenge of figuring out if we got anything left. We do have that Aston Martin. I didn't even notice. Let's go. That's way out of class. That's already been done. BMWs are a no-go. I still need to test that turbo if that's maxed out. I don't think it is. And then we will finish off on the GNX with its anti-lag. See, this is the kind of thing I was talking about. Yeah, lighter than the M5, and that M5 didn't even have 400 foot-pounds torque. This has almost 600 at 570. Look at that. Imagine. Yeah, we are going to run the DB5 because it's a cool car. And I think it'll be the only Aston Martin to go this series. Oh man, I wish they brought back the Vantage V8. The old one, or I think it was just called the Aston Martin V8. So yeah, that was a cool car from Horizon 4. We have a 5-speed that we will only use 4 of, okay. And I don't see any supersized tires. Maybe those rims are slightly large to get the weight up, but I don't know. I didn't even look at this car's weight or engine specs. I'm good at the game. Turbocharged. And what is this, like a old V12 or straight 6? So that's cool. Oh wow, it's pretty grippy. When I think old Aston Martins, I think back to, like, I think it was Horizon 4, where anytime you did an Aston Martin race, the game would choose like a bone stock DB5, or like old blue DB7 or whatever it was, same age as this pretty much, and they would not upgrade the suspension at all. They would just chuck power at it, and that would just make it look like a jelly car whenever you raced against it. It was hilarious. Here though, it's actually pretty grippy. I'm enjoying this car. Not enjoying its very tall gears, but oh well. At least we're turbocharged and staying in that power band. Speed was not great across that jump, I'll be honest. We have good grip though, despite being very, like, thin track width. It's not even bad. Up the hill, like nowhere near 100 miles an hour where the best cars have been. So that gives us an idea for where this car will line up, I guess. But, you know, it's a car. It's the car of all time. Definitely one of the coolest, I will give it that. I'm gonna keep it in 4th. Don't need to shift. Yeah, see, that's the first time we've, like, matched that Corvette. And it's from a slightly newer Aston Martin, so it makes sense. Like, same age group, 60s. That Corvette will have wider tires, and I would argue the better intake system. But you know, turbos do have their spot. At the bottom of the list, but they do have their spot. I do love shifting over that jump still. It's a clean way to shift. Speed is better this time around, 110 I saw a flash. Oh, look at this. We can get a decent run on it, actually. Look at that. But then our weight takes us wide, so we have to hit the brakes pretty hard. Hopefully that won't dirty our last lap. It will. God dang it. Oh well. 127.9. We're into the 127s with the Aston Martin. I'm gonna guess we don't have good brakes, because that did not want to slow down. And I guess it makes sense for why we didn't slow down much up at the top of the hill. No, our mirror. Oh well. We lost some trim too. I saw that kind of fly up with the mirror. That was funny. It's not a good line through there this time anyways. Oh well. Aston Martin proved it could be good with a perfect run. Do we give it enough laps to give it a perfect run though? No. Yeah, it's like base grip level is way better than it was in Horizon 4. I guess that's the off-road race tire compound doing something, but we've seen it not work all the time. Yeah, I guess the brakes are just not good on this car. I'm surprised. Normally I try to go for race brakes, or at least sport brakes. Didn't work this time though. I do see discs all around. I guess we are on sport brakes. It just sucks. Only second down. It's only awful. Not terrible. So yep, the Corvette. Man, you only have one more car to go. Do I do celebratory donuts now? Nah, I'll wait till later. Got one last car to go in the Buick. No, not the GSX. We've already determined that that could win with like enough perfect laps attempted. We're not here for that though. We're here for the other Buick. The 1500 horsepower one. Yep, that's right. No. So yeah. Let's give that BMW a chance. I did say I would look, and I haven't yet. So let's just make sure that that car is able to be tuned to the class. Where is it? There you are, hiding. Of course you're hiding. A very lightweight car. We will actually be able to build this car, I guess. Haven't done that this series except for episode 1. I don't even think I did that then. Never mind. Stock engine is turbo, as per the name. Of course, we'll give it anti-lag, and we'll give it revs. Not even bad sounding. Let's go. Always a bonus. Wide boy back tires. Can we get a free gearbox upgrade? A very free one. Alright. We lose PI with that. I like that. Give it sport brakes, rally suspension, anti-roll bars. We just gave it revs and turbo. Alright, that's all we get. Can we get even more power? No. That is why. Alright. Yeah, we can't run this car for this series. Because, well, you saw. There's just no way. Like, how are we going to get another 100 horse pers from that? We can go back to stock cams and just chuck weighty parts at it, like the oil and intercooler. But then there's no way we get an extra 200 horsepower without going into A-class. So, yep, no BMW. We almost tried. Getting back into this, since it is the leading car. And it only has to be the leading car for one more attempt. Because the Buick GNX is going to be the last car we try. There probably are others I've tuned, but, you know, can't run every car in the game again. Those Ferraris are cool. But yeah, the Buick, it has the best chance. Sure, it's heavy, but it's got a good torque and a much better turbo. So, off we go with the Buick. I am at least familiar with this car. It's a 4-speed. That's why it sucks. Raise it up. And now here we go. Yeah, before we had actually no rev range. Now we have a rev range. Only one though. This car is decent for its grip. It's a bit slidey, but I think I can control it. And this will be a good comparison for like anti-lag on versus off. Because like, you know, this is one of the laggier engines in the game. So if this can be fixed, you know, any engine can be improved by it. Speed up the hill is not bad. It's a bit uncharacteristically out of control, but oh well. We expect this car to be fast. That is what it's known for. But we'll be grippy. Oh, there's a shocking gear change, I'll be honest. And that time we just stepped out super wide. I don't know what happened there. Alright. I gotta watch my throttle, I guess. With the anti-lag, I guess it's a bit more lively than I'm used to. So I guess it does make a car more challenging to drive if you put on anti-lag. Which makes sense. Usually it's reserved for the best rally car drivers in the world, so makes sense. We are good for speed. 112 is right on the average. No front flip this time. Alright, Buick. Let's see what you got. I let off a bit there. So I can be more controlled into here, hopefully. Nope. Step out immediately. For whatever reason, this car just likes to step out. I guess I need some wing angle. Oh well. The Buick, you tried. And we can catch up the hill pretty good because we just have so much more torque than the Corvette. But that won't win the whole thing, so. Yep. Gave it a darn good shot. 127.7 for its clean lap there. I'm not going to match that because I didn't downshift out that corner. I thought I didn't need to after last lap. Evidently, that was not the case. Yeah, we can see up the hill, a lot of cars have been catching that Corvette just because of how, you know, insane some cars can be up the hill with torque. Not going to happen this time, though. 127.7. We could go for one more for the last car, right? That's what they always do. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, nothing I'll do with this car will beat that Corvette. Well, you can't say we didn't give it a try. Bunk. Alright, well, there's only one thing left to do. There really is only one thing left to do. A victory lap with the Corvette. If anything, just to try to extend its lead. I will say, though, that will be tough to do. Before doing this recording session, I did like 25 laps around the track in the Corvette. And I couldn't replicate that one lap. That was the first lap that car did, remember? So, yeah. It's going to be a bit of an ask, but after driving everything else we've seen today, getting experience, and knowing the track way better now, I was just driving around the lap to associate myself with said track. What can the Corvette really do? Do I go for tighter gears? I could. Maybe just a tiny bit, just to see what happens. And even less camber, because why not? And almost locked that diff. Alright. This won't go according to plan, but we can pretend like it will. So the Corvette is the winner of the series. We chucked 100 cars at it, probably, I don't know. And, well, it beat them all. Like, pretty soundly, too. Like, the closest we got was half a second. That's an eternity on a track like this. So smooth, this car. That's how it won. It's just so smooth and predictable. Those back tires, the pretty low weight, and the Percharger all have a say in this. So yep, this car's so good. I use it a lot for online races just as a good car. I didn't think it would work this good on the dirt though. Goes to show. Always count in the classics. Nobody's ever said that in the history of ever, but you know, I said it. Small bonk, but not bonk enough for horny jail. That's important. That's why it won. And you can see, like, even for the Corvette, it's hard to beat the Corvette because the Corvette is just better than the Corvette. And away we go. And just like before, the Corvette got a new best lap record in one attempt. And just like before, we're going to collect reward after one attempt. One lap is all we needed to beat the Corvette with the Corvette. What can I say? What can you say but the Corvette is just that OP, even to itself. That's going to be it for this series. Next series will be the oval circuit. Yep, we're going NASCAR racing in D-Class. It should be interesting. Give it up for the Corvette. It's been quite the adventure. And you know, there's only one thing to do after that.
More power, baby.
A more power, baby. Goodbye, everybody. What a series. Oh yeah, victory donuts. Almost forgotten.
More power, baby.